was I doing in 2015? Who knows? Hey, hello team, my name is Monique. Welcome back to the Cauldron. It is time for a new vlog. Y'all are welcome. In case you didn't know, this is Bookwitch Reviews on my channel, and it is Tuesday. I'm starting a vlog in a reasonable time, and I even have some clips from yesterday. So let me first tell you, I started and finished The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik yesterday, which is an arc. It's on my TBR. It's one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and it hurt me so badly. I'm gonna put the clip in here. You will see my sad face now. So I finished The Last Graduate. My heart is pounding real hard, and I feel like I need to cry. I might have a cry. I just have a cry about it. Like, that's the worst cliffhanger I've ever read. I'm so mad. I'm mad. I'm not even saying I'm mad. So basically, The Last Graduate is the second book in the Scholomance series. The first book is called AW Education. If you've been hanging around on my channel for a little while, you may know that it was a shared favorite of mine last year together with Harrow the Ninth. And basically, I love this book. It is like a grimdark fantasy novel, like old YA, nearly new adult. And basically, it is about an evil magic school that eats its students. And we are following one student in particular called Elle, who has affinities for sort of the dark arts, but she doesn't want to be evil, so she keeps trying to do her best. And then she gets annoyed by our golden boy, Labrador boy, I love him so much, Orion Lake, who keeps saving her, and she doesn't want to be saved. And basically this school is set up to give the children of wizards and witches the best chance of survival. However, it is like 1 in 7 of them that survives, so not many of them at all. It's grim and like sarcastic, and Elle just has a very, very particular place in my heart. And so I started The Last Graduate morning of Monday, yesterday, and I was kind of like it's good, because all of Naomi Novik's writing is generally good in my opinion, but it was just a little bit slow, and I was just kind of like, oh, maybe it won't hit in the same way, it just won't be as wowing, and then it hurt me. I finished work, and then I read, and then I continued reading until I finished the book, and it's like, it's at least 400 or 380 something pages, and it hurt me so badly. It comes out on the 29th of September, which means that I have to wait at least a whole other year. So apparently originally this book was only meant to be a duology. It is now a trilogy. I don't know how we're gonna have a trilogy. I don't know what Del Rey and Naomi Novik is out to do, other than apparently destroy my soul. But most likely I'm gonna reread the first book, and then I'm gonna reread this one again, because that's what I did last year. I read the first one really quickly on an e-arc, and then when I got an actual copy, I read it again in less than a day, because that's apparently just who I am now with these books. And I'm not okay. I am completely not fine. But I do need to pick up another book, so I'm gonna pick up what I had actually meant to pick up, which is the third book in the Broken Earth trilogy. This is the This is the Stone. God. Okay, Monique, doing really well there. This is the Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, and I just finished The Obelisk Gate last week, which is the second book. This is actually also on my TBR. I'm being very good to myself, and maybe that's just what I need to do from now on. And basically, this series starts with the 5th season, which if you haven't read it yet or heard about it, then please go pick it up, because it is absolutely amazing. It is one of the absolute best adult fantasy novels I have ever read. It is sort of a mix of fantasy, sci-fi, dystopia, very, very, very intense. And basically the entire series is set around this idea that the world is basically broken or dying, and we have this 5th season, which is like a disaster season, and all of the people like go under a set of rules whenever we go into this season. It's basically very much like just survival. However, there's also a group of people in this book that have the ability to sort of control Earth, and you would think that that would mean that people would be nice to them, but no, they are like ostracized and killed the majority of the time. And we are following several different points of views in the first book and the second book, and they are all intertwined in a really interesting way. And it is almost like in a second point of view, like we are told by someone, but we don't really know who's telling the story. And I love it a whole lot. Like the Obelisk Gate was another solid 5-star. I had heard from some people that they didn't love it as much as the 5th season, and I can understand to some points why people didn't love it as much, but I still absolutely loved it. And I'm gonna read this while I still remember all of the jargon from the first book. But I really desperately also want to reread the initial book, the 5th season, because it was so good. And I kicked myself when I read it last year about not having picked it up before, because I actually thought it was older than it is, I think. So the Obelisk Gate came out in 2016, I think. When did you come out? Oh yeah, so the 5th season came out in 2015 when I was 25. So it is like old, so it's obviously, time goes fast. It's 7 years old now, and I didn't read it till last year. I'd vaguely heard about it, but when this came out, I was in not a weird place. What was I doing in 2015? Who knows? Anywho, I'm reading it now and I love it a lot, and basically I want all of N.K. Jemisin's things. I want it all. So it is a new week. I am determined to do a lot of reading and have a lovely time and just get on with the things that I actually want to do. So I'm gonna purposely go back to vlogging because it keeps me up there. But yeah, heartbroken about The Last Graduate, not gonna lie. Want to reread it immediately, not gonna do that. But I'm hoping you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll check in hopefully tomorrow, and if not, sometimes later this week. So, bye. Guess what day it is? It's fucking Saturday. Because guess who hasn't really done an update for a good couple of days, even though I kept meaning to, and it just didn't happen. But it was mainly because I didn't start any new books whatsoever up until Wednesday or Thursday. Might have been Thursday. I started this on Thursday. This is The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, which is the 3rd book in the Broken Earth trilogy. Absolutely loved the first book. Like the second book, just as amazing. Loved this one. I'm only just right in the beginning though. And yeah, I just thought I would come in and say this. My girlfriend is away for the day, so I'm gonna go right in a cafe now after I've had my chill and tidy time. But I also have some very exciting book mail that I need to show you guys. Bear with. So basically, I was not expecting to get this, which is why I didn't film it when I opened the package. I didn't film it for TikTok. I didn't film it for here. But this, just even looking at it makes me so happy. This is an arc of The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik, which I have been begging and pleading for. I have sent so many emails to Del Rey because they contacted me in January about being part of like the new reveal and like if I wanted an arc or a e-arc of it, and I said yes please already in January. And then obviously the release for The Last Graduate got pushed till September. It was meant to come out in July, so suddenly I didn't hear anything from them again. So I was like, oh okay, I'll just send them an email once it's closer to it. And basically then everyone else started getting arcs, and I was like, please, like I really desperately want an arc of this book because I loved the first book so much. And then it just didn't come, and I was like, okay, well that's fine. And then I got approved on NetGalley, which is obviously where I read it on Monday, so I read it as an e-arc, and then this showed up on Wednesday, and it's so pretty. Look at it. It says, you have been invited to return to the Scholomance on the front, and then it says, would you survive graduation on the back. And actually it's an arc that has almost like a dust cover, and then we have the actual arc. Look at this shiny foiling. In case you are new to my channel, hi, hello, welcome here. I was obsessed with A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik last year, which is the first book in the Scholomance. It's actually apparently called Lessons of the Scholomance, not just the Scholomance. This is lesson 2. And basically it is a different take on a magic school. It's a magic school that basically eats its students, and we have a very only like small set of magic users that can come into this school every year, but it takes your possibility of surviving till adulthood from 1 in 7 to 1, I think, in 4 or something like that. And basically we are following one girl in particular. Her name is Elle, and she has sort of ties to the dark without meaning to. She's very good at like evil spells, and she's just trying really hard not to turn evil, basically. But we are following her first point of view, and she's just sarcastic and mean, and she just keeps being saved by the resident hero of the school, Orion Lake, who is basically a golden retriever boy, and I will take no further questions about that in this moment. But I love him and I love her, and the first book is so good. It was my shared favorite last year, and this is like up there now for me. It hurt me so badly, and when I opened this I had to work so hard at not just literally immediately reading A Deadly Education and then reading this again, because I just read it on Monday. So this is my exciting mail, but I'm gonna go and chill in a cafe for a while, try to do some writing and, you know, connect with myself, because I've been having a really weird time lately, not gonna lie. But I might check in later, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, hello team. It is Tuesday. Yes. And it's the end of this reading vlog. I don't know how it's gotten this long, with the fact that I have literally updated it 3 times, but it is what it is. Let me just tell you really quick what I am reading. I'm still reading The Stone Sky. I've barely made a dent, and I think I'm slumping. I think I'm in a reading slump, which is not normally something I really do. Even when I love books, I don't really go into slumps, or at least I don't notice. I guess it might just be because sometimes there's just like a couple of days and then I'm like fine, but this is literally like I don't really like, I want to read this, but I don't want to read this, so I'm going to put this gently aside for a brief moment, and then I am going to go on to another book on my TBR, which is the 4th book in the Meredith Gentry series by Laura K. Hamilton, which is called A Stroke of Midnight. This is a reread for me. Meredith Gentry series is an urban fantasy paranormal romance, very adult, and I've explained it previously. I'm not going to go into it right now because I haven't started it yet. I've also read it many times. I've even like little bit and bobs. So I'm excited about this one because one of my favorite characters gets like a bigger role. And then I sort of tried to pick this up yesterday because I really enjoyed reading Queering Your Craft, which is like a how-to guide introduction into witchcraft and like paganism, basically. And obviously I got sucked into this. I bought this for my birthday last year, and this is Craft by Gabriella Hurstick, and Queering Your Craft by Cassandra Snow is very much like a beginner book, but it is also very open and very much like witchcraft isn't based in your femininity and your vagina, which is something that I find really important because so I'm very interested in paganism and witchcraft, and it's something that I like learning more about as I'm sort of going on like a bit of a journey with it. And this is just very modern and like, oh yeah, witchcraft, super popular, yay. And I'm like, it's very much like the, your witchcraft is based in your femininity and the goddess within. And even though she very briefly talks about like gender expression, and you can also be a witch as a man, it's just very not like open in the same way. I think I opened up with the best book to start with that's like very like aware in a lot of ways. And Queering Your Craft is also very aware of like closed practices, which is basically parts of paganism or like the witchcraft community where it's like you have to be part of a certain culture, which makes a lot of sense. And even I, who like have only like in the last couple of years started my like craft journey, is aware of the fact that smudging and using white sage to sort of like clear your space is something that you shouldn't do because it is native to First Nation. And however, she literally in this book writes like be like respectful of other people's practices, and then immediately underneath starts talking about smudging, which is something that you shouldn't do, and you shouldn't be using white sage as someone outside of a First Nation tribe. And I'm basically just kind of like, I'll have a look to see, because there's some funky like little bits and bobs that I might enjoy, and I like the aesthetics of this one, but it feels very surfacey, and I'm not enjoying the fact that it doesn't really feel like it's a book written from a more open perspective, really. So I'm not enjoying that. So yeah, I have the first DNF in a while. I literally read 40 pages, I think. Yeah, literally have read 35 pages, and I'm just kind of like, no, this is not what I want. And when I looked up reviews from other people, it seems like it's very like just sort of throwing around certain expressions and like not really caring about the fact that some things are only for certain people. But yeah, I also have some not book mail. I did fall off my book buying ban. Let's wait. So yeah, as I mentioned, I sort of fell off my book buying ban for two books that I have been super excited about reading. The first one is The Witch Heart by Genevieve Gionech. I can't say her surname. This is like a Norse-inspired adult fantasy where we are following the very first witch in Norse mythology, who has sort of been abused and corrupted a bit by Odin, and so she flees, and then she makes a connection with the trickster god Loki and ends up having these 3 children with him. And I read like the first page in the bookshop, and I was just kind of like, I can't leave without this book. It's so pretty, and I'm so excited about reading it. And then also another book that I've been super excited for is Blackwater Sister by Sen Cho, which is a contemporary fantasy about a young woman who returns to Malaysia after having lived the majority of her life in, I'm guessing, the US. However, when she gets there, she starts hearing voices, specifically the voice of her dead grandmother, who wants her to take revenge on this local biker, I think, who apparently slighted her goddess. And it just, like, I read, the first page, and it just seems super cool. It's very green inside, and I just, I really wanted to read this one. It's also a super pretty cover, though I do really love the US cover as well for this one, which I really desperately want to own. But yeah, fell off the wagon, haven't done that much reading, and haven't done that much updating either. So it's a reading vlog that is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit subscribe button at the same time so you don't miss out on any other videos from me. You can also click the little bell which gives you a notification when I put up a new video, which I try to do regularly. All of a sudden it's gotten very hot in this room, and I can't handle it. So this is the end. I'll see you soon. Bye. Also, remember that I'm proud of you, as per always. Bye.